Brookins.
Right? Brooks.
Brooks, you motherfucker. You motherfucker. He's done it all afternoon. Keith Brookins, keep it. And that's a football player.
Yeah. Falcons.
You're a fucking dick. Fucking black people, man.
I hope that was part of the recording. That's the way the show started.
Fucking A, man. Fuck off. Hey, everybody, welcome to Scale Plus Ted. I am Ted Huckabee, and today with me is a wonderful actor, a guy named Keith Brooks, everybody. Did I get it right?
Yes, sir, you did. You nailed it. Thank you for having me, man. I appreciate it.
No problem. So we're going to talk about who you are, what you are, how you came about, and all that. So
Yeah.
tell me where you're born.
I was born in Jasper, Georgia, so Georgia native and all that stuff.
So Steve Coulter, we did an episode with him before this one, episode 11, I think. There's so many, it's hard for me to remember. His parents moved to Jasper, Georgia. That's how he got into Atlanta acting.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, Jasper, same town.
That's
a little town northwest, Georgia.
Super tiny. And I think when I was born in 85. I look like I'm 65, but I'm only 38. But it's been a rough career, obviously.
Yeah.
So born in Jasper, grew up in Canton, Georgia, which is about 30 minutes south of that. Went to school at Berry College for undergrad, went to grad school at Julliard School in New York, traveled around a lot.
Slow down, Keith.
Yeah.
Slow down. We're jumping way ahead. Dude, you went from elementary to fucking Julliard. All right, so you went to school as a teenager. Let's go to high school.
Yeah.
In Canton?
Yeah, Cherokee High School.
Okay, did they have a theater program?
They did. Yeah, I had my freshman year was a lady named Miss Hines, and then
Put something like back.
oh, I'm sorry. I was just trying to give you the ASMR read.
Yeah.
And then a teacher named Matt Gantz was my teacher for the rest of high school. Really great guy. It taught me a lot. I guess high school, like a lot of actors, I think, is where I found the love
In
of
high
it.
school.
Yeah, I had started maybe in elementary school by doing local community plays, just musicals that were in town, Pirates and Pins and shit like that. And can I cuss?
Oh yeah,
Fuck yeah, cool. And I fell in love with writing and music and stuff like that. And then in high school, I was working at recording studios, doing theater. Moved out on my own when I was 16. Emancipated minor, that whole thing.
Wow.
And
so like a lot of good actors, you had a fucked up family.
Exactly. That's why we need somebody's approval. It can't be my parents. Got to be a stage, right?
Yeah.
And so and just sort of fell in love with the idea of becoming a different character, telling stories, that sort of idea. Yeah.
Okay. So in high school you did plays, and in elementary school you did plays. Yeah. And Canton's not a hotbed of fucking theater.
Not really. I think the biggest. So before me in my high school, the guy who played Sawyer in Lost came from my high school, and Travis Tritt came from my high school. Both years and years, before me.
Yeah.
But that was the closest,
Yeah.
You might have had a lot of wrestlers in the county and stuff like that. I think the Steiner brothers owned a Shoney's in Canton when I was
I used to go to Shoney's all the time.
Yeah.
My parents would take me for the breakfast buffet.
And that's the greatest thing in the world.
It was. It's gone now, I think. Now Shoney's try to get highfalutin.
I think so. I think they still have one in Cartersville.
And you know what they serve?
What?
Alcohol.
Do they really?
Yeah. So they sell Bloody Mary's beer, and they have an orange machine that makes fresh squeezed orange juice for mimosas. But back in the day, they had the breakfast buffet almost 24 hours a day.
Yeah.
And you'd go kill it.
Absolutely.
I would kill it. I played football and I was eating a lot, and it was my mom would get on me because I would make a white plate, and that's not racist. It would be yellow eggs. It'd be a fucking 2 biscuits, open face. It'd be white gravy. It'd be some sort of meat, and it'd be potatoes. And not a vegetable in sight, not a fruit in sight.
I can cover that shit with the
ketchup.
Cheese,
Ketchup. Oh, dude, ketchup. Yeah, I did ketchup and just crush it. Crush about 5 of those.
Okay, we gotta go find that Shoney.
Yeah, no, we will. So you were in plays, and but step back. So in we all established parenting probably not the best. We all have fucking issues being good actors or being actors. I'm not a good actor. Being actors. I had a great mom, great parents, great one parent, my mom, but not to throw her under the bus. She's dead though. As my buddy Manny Oliveira says, we hope she's dead because we buried her. If not,
really
everybody's gonna be pissed. She's gonna be pissed. She's gonna beat my sister's ass. Anyway, so you first got the acting bug when? Were you an entertainer as a kid? Did you make people laugh, class clown, fucking that kind of thing? Tell me about it.
Yeah, so like I had both my parents around, but my dad was in and out of this situation,
Yeah,
and
cool.
my mom had some like mental issues. So one of the things for me was, she would be prone to manic episodes. So it's like making her laugh, cheering her up. And
Would
so
get her upbeat. It would
yeah,
stay her. Yeah.
exactly. And
Yeah.
so for like me, she got diagnosed with breast cancer when I was really young, and that's a rough experience to go through, especially when her partner is not necessarily offering her a stability, right? And so it's me and her for the vast majority of that, and I'm just trying to find ways to make her laugh. And so that was always a part of who I was. Um, and then when I was in elementary school, I would write a lot. I still write all the time, but I wrote this poem that won the Young Poets Award or something like that. I don't remember what it's called, but it got inducted into the Smithsonian. I was probably 7 when this happened, and my teacher started trying to foster me into writing. And I was in 5th grade, and I was writing constantly. I just had notebooks where I was doodling characters and all this sort of stuff. And one of my teachers asked me if I wanted to read something I had written in front of the class, and it was mesmerizing to me just to be able to capture people with my words, take them on
What grade?
5th grade, I think.
Fifth.
Yeah. And so I started doing this every day after lunch for about 2 months. And then she finally said, "Hey, you should go try out for this play." And it was a local community theater play, Pirates of Penzance, something called Academy Street Theater. A guy named Steve Jones was in charge of it. I go and I audition for it. I get a part, but I'm a no-name like police officer, and I like cry instantly because I think, "Oh, I should have been the star.
Yeah.
Oh no, woe is me," because I'm a 5th grader and I'm a fucking idiot. So, but then I go do the show, and I get through all the dance rehearsals, and I hate all of it. It's just weird. At this point, I'm used to playing basketball, football, doing all the sports stuff that a young 5th grader in Georgia does. And then we get to the actual performances, and I'm like mugging it up, making weird faces of being scared and everything. And I see the audience laughing at me directly. And I'll never forget like somebody pointing at me, showing somebody else what I'm doing. And from that moment on, I'm like, this is cool. This is an instant gratification.
Yeah.
I think a lot of times when you come from a childhood that isn't the best, you're looking for some sort of approval from your parents. And in my situation, I wasn't getting it, but I got it from
On
this
stage.
stage. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Single child? Only
uh,
child, I mean?
uh, I have a half sister that's about 10 years older than me. She grew up with her mom though.
But when you were home, you were by yourself.
Yeah.
Like you said, making your mom feel better and feel all that. Right. And then
Yeah.
dad was out, in and out, whatever.
Yeah.
So I guess the teachers had a big part of getting you into acting because they probably knew you were coming from, right? They knew your home life a little bit.
I think the vast majority of kids in that school had a similar.
Oh, really?
Yes, I think we were mostly it was a rural school, and I think in that
Probably not rich people,
yeah, a few and far between.
single parents.
Yeah, a lot of it, or parents that even if not single, just weren't. I mean, it's the '80s and early '90s. I think parenting styles have changed so drastically from back then,
Yeah.
and do with every generation. So I grew up in an area where it was tough love. That's what you got.
Yeah. Yeah. So in high school, you went to high school in Canton, you said, and did plays there?
Yeah.
Was it a theater club or was it just
It was
plays?
so a theater class and then a club. By my junior and senior year, I guess I was the president of the theater club there, and was just really into it. So I was doing that. I was doing forensics, speech and debate stuff,
Okay.
traveling around. So I got a couple like championships out of that, and really was just making me feel like hot shit. You know what I mean? Just and finding myself as far as my voice as a writer, as an actor, really understanding. Like, there was a moment I was doing this play called JB, which is like a modern retelling of Job, and I'm playing the devil in it. And I just moved out of my mom's house,
In real life,
in real life, right?
not the devil.
Yeah, not the devil.
Okay.
But there's a moment where I'm on stage and God turns their back on me. And for the first time in my life, I was like, that's kind of what I feel like in my real life. I feel like God, my creators, my parents, have turned their back on me. And it was just like in the middle of a rehearsal, couldn't stop crying.
Yeah.
Because it was just, oh, I get it. I get how art can be this transformative thing, how
Yeah.
it can be cathartic and touch on all these different levels. And it was
Yeah.
such an eye-opening experience, you know.
Yeah.
So
Did people think you were weird?
oh, always. I mean, look at me. I
No,
look
no,
like
but
this since 13.
crying in the rehearsal.
Oh yeah, yeah, I think so. I think so.
You were a smart kid. You were in debate.
Yeah.
I was in debate. I got kicked out. No shit. Bad grades. I wanted to be in debate so bad, and I could argue with anybody and would argue with anybody about anything.
So
But
you
I
did
had,
the debate side of it?
I did. I was on the debate club, but then I had to quit because my grades sucked, and you had to maintain a certain. It was an extracurricular activity, so you had to maintain whatever, B average or whatever, to be in any club after school.
Oh, gotcha.
And they fucked me. So fuck them. I would have been a
Yes.
really rich lawyer instead of a broke ass actor. But anyway, I
Where did
digress.
you grow up? What
It's
is
not your podcast, Pete.
Oh, goddamn it.
It's my podcast.
Just trying to-
I was born. No, I was born in Alabama. I don't claim it. I've grown up in the city of Atlanta since second grade.
Okay.
And just like you, I had a fucked up dad. Don't know him. I was a young guy who had to take care of my mom early on. She thank God didn't have breast cancer like your mom or anything like that. But it was always she was a performer, never an actress. But she always was a kind of the crowd. Taught me in a lot of ways how to lead a room, to lead a crowd, and to always not necessarily be the class clown, but at the same time, I needed that. When I entertain, which is what I still do, you need that direct, feedback from the audience, which is could be anything. Audience could be a fucking person at McDonald's. It could be a person at a bar. It could be this room right here. So yeah, I think all actors, a lot of actors have the similar, not celebrities, but actors have the same kind of there's something out there that they're trying to fill, which is the roar of the crowd. You know what I mean? Or just
The eyes on us.
the eyes on you. Yeah, yeah,
There's something so, I don't know, transporting when you see eyes lock on you.
yeah,
You realize you have the attention of somebody.
yeah,
You know? And I think like my dad wasn't around a lot, but when he was around, he had this like garage connected to our house where he would, he'd work on people's cars. He was a mechanic until he passed away. And it was weird because he reminded me in a way of Atticus Finch, a very angry Atticus Finch, but still Atticus Finch, in the way that everybody else that would come around to get their cars fixed, he would help the poorest of people that couldn't afford for it. And my dad was at times good to me, but at a lot of times an asshole to the people he loved. But to this whole other group of people, he was this altruistic, fucking guy.
which pissed you off.
Yeah, as I got older, definitely.
Yeah,
But there was something about that of being something to someone else that, like, at an early age, in acting, we have this idea of masks, and you are different people to different people. My dad was an embodiment of that. And so, even at an early age, I wondered what the psychology of that was. How does that operate? Why do people look at him with such reverence and not knowing that he does this or whatever? You know what I mean?
yeah,
And so I don't know, just that part. I think for all artists, the seeds of how we will explore our art are planted just by the observation of the people we're around when we're young. You know what I mean?
So he was an actor.
In a way, yeah.
He's a great pretender.
Great pretender. That's the best way to put it. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so you got out of high school
Got
after crying, probably didn't get laid a lot.
No,
After
thanks for
crying,
bringing it up.
yeah,
It doesn't
after
hurt or
crying.
anything.
After crying in rehearsal there. But
So happy I came on this podcast.
but theater girls, they're easy. I mean, let's be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, they're easy to an extent.
Yeah.
But then they have emotional
they're
trauma.
fucked. Oh,
Yeah,
they're
fucked.
totally
Yeah,
fucked
I
up.
mean-
Yeah, I've always said that. I tell actresses that all the time. I mean, they're all fucking crazy. But I would say guys are crazy too. But especially
Absolutely.
the women are like, whoa.
Oh, what do you want to do for a
You got
living? You want to
fucked.
put on somebody else's clothes?
Yeah, you got issues. Yeah. All right, so you got out of high school, and then what did you want to do?
College. So I went to college.
Were you the first person in your family to go to college?
My sister went. Yeah.
Okay.
But she was the first.
Neither parent.
Yeah, neither
Okay.
parent.
Yeah.
So I went to undergrad at Barry, It's a beautiful school.
It's religious school.
It is, well, yeah, they say it is.
Okay. But that wasn't your aim.
No.
Okay.
No.
Why did you go to Barry? What were you trying to be? What was your idea to be? What did you want to be in life? What was your major going to be?
I didn't really know. My major was theater.
Oh, it was. Okay. You were pursuing theater.
Yeah. So my high school drama teacher, Matthew Gantz, had gone to Barry, so a lot of recommendations. They offered a lot of good scholarships. I was working at a recording studio doing like hip hop and stuff while I was going through college, and so I did that for a long time.
In Canton or in Atlanta?
So I started working in Atlanta at a place called Stankonia. So
Never heard of it.
Yeah. So Stankonia's Outcast, all that sort of stuff.
Never heard of them.
Yeah, they're really low key. You might have to look them up. So I started making beats and doing engineering sessions there. And then when I went to Rome, which is where Barry is, I went to a place called NRC, which was like it's a small recording studio. Most famous thing to come out of there was like the Charlie Brown theme music.
Okay.
So they recorded that there.
So wait, in high school you were working at music studios?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And making beats.
Yeah.
Or doing what else? What
making beats,
sound engineering,
doing just session musician stuff. Like
this doesn't have shit to do with acting, but I am a huge Outkast fan.
Yeah.
And I actually lived in that neighborhood. My first house was in that neighborhood where Stankonia is, actually.
Oh, fuck, that's awesome.
So how does a white boy from fucking Canton or Jasper or anything get hooked up with Outkast?
So it's gonna be a long circuitous story.
It's okay.
So
we have 5 minutes.
Cool, great. When I was in high school, I went to something called Governor's Honors.
Yes.
I think it still exists.
We know it does. My daughter got nominated this year.
Cool. Awesome.
She didn't do it, but she got nominated.
So I was at Governor's Honors. I was 15.
Okay. Once again, smart kid.
Yeah.
Smart guy.
Well, but it was
Governor's Honors, so everybody knows, in the state of Georgia, every high school has a teacher in each facet, from whether it be art, whether it be science, whether it be English, whether it be whatever, and they nominate kids, the best shining star kids, to be represented in the summer program for the governor. And then you whittle it down, and they take like 20 kids per
discipline.
Discipline. My daughter was in for history, for what was it, like political science, history, whatever. And anyway, my sister was in it for art. My point is that it's a very select group for the state of Georgia, and they go to a camp, and you're revered, and it's a great resume booster. Go ahead.
Yeah, absolutely. So I go for theater. I'm doing that. It's 30 days or 6 weeks, I think. Yeah, 30 people in it. It was great. At the end of that, we had a chance to audition, because we're all high schoolers, for potential colleges, right? One of the colleges there is the Julliard School. They see me. They put forward a letter of interest in me, right? This kind of makes a couple of newspapers at the time, because I'm the first kid from Georgia to get that in a while, right? So at the same time, there was going to be a Jimi Hendrix biopic that Andre Benjamin was going to be starring in, Andre 3000.
Mm-hmm.
And I get connected through that. And so I go to meet
in order to be in the movie.
Yeah, and just to talk about acting and stuff.
Yeah.
Right. So I talk to Dre, meet him. I'm already interested in music. I've been playing piano, teaching myself guitar, drums, all that stuff.
Now, were you a hip hop fan? Be honest.
Yeah,
you were.
Yeah. So I've been doing all that for years, just as an artistic outlet. I'm the type of person who always needs to be doing something just to keep my mind occupied. So he tells me, well, let's see what you can do at the studio. Come in one day. I start making a beat in the middle of the studio. And then he's like, you get a job. And I'm like, cool, that's it. So one beat got me a job.
And it didn't have shit to do with music. It had to do with acting.
That's how I got in the door, yeah.
Yeah.
And then so from that, I start working on...
How old are you, 17?
16, I guess.
16.
Yeah.
So you were driving from Canton to
Atlanta.
To Howell Mill Road.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then what would it be like? I mean, that's fucking a cool ass story.
It'd be like 4 hours a session.
In the day?
Yeah.
Middle of the night? Nothing crazy?
Well, so if I was doing something, because Stankonia at the time was also open as a public studio, so you could book time and come in there.
Okay.
And if
there's a studio to the right of it as well.
Yeah, exactly. Treehouse. Yeah. And so you'd be able to come in, and if you booked a session, you would see my white ass. At this time, I had dreadlocks. But so, like, that's who I am. But I'm rocking, like, Slayer and Mudvayne shirts.
It makes is what they wanted. They wanted the damn musician guy, right? And that's cool. That makes it sense. That almost gave validity to the rap game.
Yeah, absolutely.
We got a fucking white dude with a damn Metallica shirt on.
And I'm doing something different, right? Like, and so I'm getting opportunities being So that's during the day. I would run sessions, just be an engineer for people, not producing stuff really, but doing that. And then I would like every now and then be able to go and play on a record or something for them, like playing marimba on, speaker box or something like that.
Did you do that?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
And so like a lot of fun stuff that, there's a line in Idlewild on the album. It's one of the interludes where they talk about their friend Keith from Julliard.
Mhm.
It's me they're talking about. So they're making fun of me. So that's great. That's always wonderful to make fun of my achievements. But yeah, that's that. So I do that for a while. Go to Barry. I'm going to be an actor. That's the thing. I don't know how that's going to work because at that time, Atlanta's not what it is now.
Right.
So I'm going to get the degree. The plan is to get the liberal arts degree and then go to Julliard. That's the plan.
Did you quit Stankonia?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just because
to go to college.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so I'm working at a shitty recording studio there.
In Barry, up in
Rome.
Yeah.
Do that. Graduate there. Degree in theater. A couple degrees in music.
Now, is that a 4-year degree?
Yeah.
Okay, so you did 4 years of it. Okay.
Yeah.
And then went to Julliard.
And then went to Julliard at NYU.
And they remembered you from the 6 years prior.
Yeah, and I had to re-audition and everything, but got in. That was fine. And
did you have to audition for Barry?
No,
just the recommendation from your teacher.
Yeah, and I think I had a conversation or something like that.
Yeah, an interview, but you didn't have to give a monologue or anything like that. Okay. All right, so you go to Julliard, which is a big deal.
Yeah, so I'm going to Julliard NYU in order to have the degree aspect of it, so I can have my MFA.
MFA, Masters in Fine Arts.
Yeah, and so I do that for 3 years. So that takes me to New York. When I go to New York, I'm looking for, because when you go to Julliard, you're not allowed to perform any plays, television, movies, anything for the first 2 years.
You're not supposed to work at all.
You're not supposed to work. Well, you're supposed to work. You're not supposed to work in the industry.
For money, yeah.
So I had to get a job. So I got a job. I got 2 jobs. One at a recording studio up there, and then one at a place called Jekyll and Hyde's that used to be in Times Square. And it's like a themed restaurant, but all monsters and shit like that. So I would like put on makeup and be the Wolfman and steal kids' fries as I bust their table. And I had to get permission from the school to do this because it was technically performance. Yeah. Fucking stupid. And so, but I did that for like 5 months. The recording studio job, I was making beats there, and then somebody had passed some of my beats along, and I got a job at Island Def Jam Records off of that. So I started making beats for like smaller artists, like Ace Hood, Teriyaki Boy, shit like that, right? So I was doing that while I was going to Julliard. I graduated Julliard at NYU, and I thought I was going to go into music because that was being very lucrative for me. And my mom got sick again from cancer, came back to Atlanta, hated the music bureaucracy of the industry, and then saw, holy shit, there's Walking Dead just started filming here. Maybe I'll try my hand at that. Like, maybe I'll try the acting thing. I have this really good degree.
Yeah. So you have an MFA from Julliard.
Yeah.
Right. But never worked as an actor up until that point. You were just working in the music business.
And I still was doing like stage stuff.
You were in New York.
In New York, but I was doing Broadway or our performances that we had to do for school.
Yeah.
I would,
but never paid gigs per se.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, off Broadway pays, but it's nothing that you.
Yeah.
So you're making your bread and butter by doing beats in the studio.
Yeah.
And Island Def Jam, you said?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. And who did you work for at Island Def Jam? Like, what was a cool like? Give me a beat that you made or something. Give us a story about that.
I made a Rihanna song called Only Girl in the World. I sold like all my rights to it and everything like that
for $500.
But that's like the nature of the game, you know what I mean? So like I was making beats for rappers. I was writing verses for rappers. I was doing all this stuff. I was working with Bruno Mars, like as he was doing the same job I was doing as far as writing songs for other people.
Yeah.
And the way it works is you have these writing houses where you turn in
ghostwriters.
It's like ghostwriters. You turn in a song, you get no credit, but you get a fat check up front. And then most of the people, whoever owns that writing house, they put their name on it, right? And so it's like nowadays, there's a lot of accusations against somebody like Drake, and they're very different than the one I'm going to say. But like the ghostwriting thing, it's like, yeah, of course he doesn't write his own shit. Like, there's plenty of rappers out there that do.
Yeah.
But there's also plenty that don't.
Right.
You know what I mean?
With every artist.
With every artist.
Yeah, because it's a look, it's a package, it's an everything.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so part of my job was to make that package. Like, I'm turning in 40 songs a week, and like maybe 5 of them sell. You know what I mean? But it's constantly got me being creative. I'm trying new stuff. I'm learning the intricate like structure of music. I'm listening to new hip hop. I'm hearing new artists before anybody else. All that shit. You know what I mean?
And you're in the mix.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is what a lot of people in any entertainment industry do, because they want to be part of. Fuck, I just hung out with Drake, or I just hung out with whoever the fuck. Yeah, I know Andre. Yeah,
yeah, and for me, it was a lot about like the creativity of it. And during this time, I get diabetes, which I know it sounds like a limited thing, right? But it changes the way I'm living my life at the time, right? And it's all of a sudden makes me sort of like zen up because I have to now take care of my body. I had been a severe alcoholic, and in the middle of this, I've got this disease that sort of makes me reevaluate everything. And I'm still traveling around the country, going to different recording studios, linking up with different rap artists, getting into strip clubs for free, then going back in the middle of the week to the best acting school that's ever existed. And it's sort of like fucking crazy. It's a crazy life.
Yeah. And you're only 20.
Yeah. And now I'm exhausted just thinking about it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that was my life for a long time. And then when I came here,
did you ever smoke weed?
I smoked right before I came here. What are you talking about? Wow, fucking dumb question.
Wait, you were in a rap studio? Did you ever smoke weed?
All the time.
For real?
Yeah.
They smoke weed in rap studios?
It's crazy. The best thing about it, though, is because I'm the weird kid. So I had, and I still have this, I had a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle bowl, like a Leonardo cereal bowl. So everybody would be like, hey, let's smoke a bowl. I'd be like, cool. And I would pull out a cereal bowl and like put some cereal in it. And nothing makes high rappers laugh more than that shit for some reason. And it's good representing because everybody was like, oh, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And then we would just talk and be dumb shit, right? It's weird, like, the image you have of a hip hop recording session can be so dethroned quickly by talking about a nostalgic cartoon that we all grew up on.
Yeah.
You know, like, it's just fun.
Yeah, because they're not all thug ass fucking gangsters.
And you can be both, too.
You can, but I'm saying there's a lot of artists.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of people. I mean, it's a business. And it's like any entertainment business. They're not all, some are, but not all. You know what I mean? And even when they act that way, they're not that way.
And there's something so intricate, too, about, like, I think hip hop and stand up comedy are very similar in the sense that when you are performing, you are projecting an idea to an audience of who you are.
Yeah.
And the jokes or the flow that you produce has to support that.
Yeah.
So breaking down how your verse is going to go is really like, oh, this is out of character.
I just thought of my hook, bro.
Yeah.
I can be a self-deprecating rapper.
Do it, man.
Because that's what comedians do.
Absolutely.
And there's never been a self-deprecating rapper. Be like, I fucking suck. I'm
Dick
terrible.
Too Short. That could be your name. Like,
no, Too Short is the bomb.
What's Dick Too Short?
Oh, Dick Too. I missed the Dick part. I love Too Short, man. Come on.
I didn't know that.
Straight from Oakland. All right, so you got out of Julliard, you got out of there. Your mom got sick again, unfortunately, and you had to move back to Canton.
Yeah.
Okay. No job.
Job with the Island.
Oh, you kept it.
Kept it.
And they had an office down here, or they had a studio down here.
Yeah, they had an office down here. At this point, I was doing more administrative stuff. And then it was with a offshoot label from Island because Island owns a bunch of shit. And the people were nice. The people were lovely. I just was tired of the bureaucracy of it. I don't like the business side of it.
You ever met Jermaine Dupri?
Yeah.
You ever met T.I.?
Yeah.
Who's shorter?
Jermaine.
Jermaine?
Yeah.
Not by much. I've met both of them.
Yeah, but Jermaine's definitely.
What about Bow Wow? Now we're throwing another guy in the mix.
I've never met Bow Wow.
Okay. Hi, guys. Thanks for tuning in to Scale Plus Ted. And I want to shout out to Scofflaw Brewery. They're our sponsor for this episode, and it's a wonderful beer. Try them out. All right. No problem. I just think I love how T.I. acts like a tough ass, and he's like, you know, 5'4" or something. Yeah. Anyway, good. Who? I don't know speech, and shut up, dude. You just like rap. Shut up. You ain't not in this third wall. Fuck off.
The person that
the fourth wall, whatever it is.
The person that threw me off. Yeah. The person that threw me off as being really short was Prince. I met.
Oh yeah, I knew. I've heard that.
Yeah, I met Prince at a party.
You met Prince?
Yeah.
You gotta tell us about that. Prince is a fucking icon. Man.
Oh my god.
Everybody loves him.
Yeah. So like, I was at a party. It was some party in New York at the time, and it was like some artist. I want to say it was like some guy that was friends with D'Angelo or something like that. And
Oh, I love D'Angelo. I
Oh,
was just listening to Cruise the other day.
what just an amazing writer, amazing voice, all the yeah. Anyway, so I'm at this party, and all of a sudden, the music's going, people are talking. It's just like in an apartment and everything like that. And then everything goes really quiet, and it's almost like, oh, did somebody fuck up something? And then you just hear everywhere. And I swear to God, I'm looking to see what's going
Across
on.
the top of her.
I see like a little fro like come across the top of people, and I look around, and it's fucking Prince looking like he's out of a comic book with a purple leather
Oh yeah,
fucking suit and
and high heels too,
and a cape. He had a cape on.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what the? How did you get here?
Yeah.
My man.
Yeah,
like
yeah. He flew.
He had to.
Yeah,
but
he drove his purple motorcycle like Captain America.
You could like feel the electricity. Like everyone acted different.
Yeah.
The minute he walked.
Was he with the entourage?
Yeah, but they were all to the side, like keeping people away.
Oh yeah, no, and he had to have his space.
Yeah,
you can't be crowding him. He's a short dude, and you can't block his view.
And he had like 4 women with him.
I knew that.
That were ginormous.
Yeah, well, they were 5'8".
One I think was like 6'2", but they were just the most like people like this shouldn't exist.
They weren't 6'2" and they were on their back.
Yeah, he needs Prince. Fuck them. That's what he's saying.
That's what I'm saying.
Prince had sex with these people.
Probably did. He might have had. I think Prince is probably a virgin. He probably died a virgin.
He probably sang an entire album while performing Cunnilingus.
Whoa,
you know what I mean?
Cunnilingus. Our viewers aren't that.
No, that's
what do you mean? Eating the box is what you're saying.
Well.
All right, so you met Prince. Wow,
the pussy
fucking game changer right there. Prince is badass, dude.
But I didn't get to talk to him or anything. But I saw him.
Yeah. Well, that's meeting him. I mean, shit. We had another guy said he met Jay-Z. I'm like, oh shit, I'm expecting a big story. He's like, Jay-Z told him you can get in the club, and that was it. Anyway, just fucking with you. So you came back to Canton.
Yeah.
Had a job at Island Records.
Yeah.
And then you saw that Walking Dead had started filming, and you kind of thought, shit, I got a degree from Julliard.
Yeah.
I might be able to be an actor.
Yeah, so I quit the
music. You've been an actor, let's be honest, but you hadn't been paid to be an actor up until that point, pretty much.
Pretty much, yeah.
Off Broadway, whatever. Did you have an agent?
No.
Okay.
Went for an agent, got a really shitty agent.
In Atlanta.
Yeah. So I quit the music stuff, got like a couple side gigs, got a shitty agent who I won't name.
Yep.
And started doing a couple of things, nothing big. Figured like one of the best ways to get more involved, to get my name out there, was to do a bunch of indies.
Okay.
So I did a couple of indies.
Okay.
That was going pretty well for me.
Which, by the way, don't pay anything.
Yeah. And then I got one that was going to be shooting in Chicago. Go to Chicago to do this film. It was an experience, I'll say that. I met our asshole mutual friend, Rob Prolgo, on there.
Yeah.
And Prolgo, who's a douchebag, love him, he's a douchebag, introduced me to my current agent. So I signed with them. 6 months later, I got Walking Dead. And
so 6 months later was the first gig you got from signing with that agent.
Yeah.
It took you 6 months, basically.
Yeah.
Okay. What did you get on The Walking Dead?
I played a character named Dan, who is affectionately referred to, maybe not affectionately, as Deserves It Dan. I am a child. Well, I'm a Drake on that.
Oh.
So, yep.
Or P. Diddy.
Yeah, or P. Diddy. Yeah. I don't know if I was as violent as P. Diddy, but yeah.
Do you remember your call sheet number?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you remember your call sheet number?
I do. We were talking about this earlier. 176.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
What season were you on?
I was in season 5 through 8.
I was in season 4, so right before you.
Okay. So 5 through 8. So you were a part of still when they were in Atlanta.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was at Alexandria, Virginia, when they went to Alexandria to try to find the cure.
Gotcha.
That was me at the what was it called? I don't know. Anyway, doesn't matter. It's not your podcast. So
no, tell me more.
How many episodes were you in?
6.
6 for one season.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I was one of the guys that the guy that tried to molest Carl.
Okay.
So the interesting thing about that though, because I was still doing other things like acting wise and shit. So I was doing a play, The Lion in Winter, in Canton, and I was playing King Richard and or Prince Richard at the time, but I was doing it with Chandler Riggs's godfather.
Okay.
And so while I'm shooting this thing where I'm trying to molest Chandler, I'm also doing this play where I'm like friends with his godfather. And then on an off night from Walking Dead, where I'm doing the show, Chandler comes to see it. It was like the nicest thing in the world. Him and his whole family are fucking fantastic.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun and all that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. So that was your first paid acting gig in
First
Atlanta,
big
or paid
first
decent,
big one.
decent paid acting.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then what did you do next? What would you do? You remember your next one?
Oh no, I don't know. I have no idea.
You ever done any commercials?
Yeah.
What was your favorite commercial?
I did a Trojan commercial.
Really?
Yeah. And
Condoms?
I got like 2 boxes of them.
Oh, that was your payment?
No.
Fucking actors work.
No,
for
I
you.
just stole fucking 2
Oh, yeah?
boxes of
Yeah.
condoms.
You don't have to insert that they were magnums. We can
Yeah,
assume that we all
double magnums.
Yeah, they have those?
Double magnums.
They have those.
It's actually just trash bags. It's just
Yeah.
hefties that
Yeah.
I strap on.
Wow.
So then I did like Stranger Things and stuff. Got a lot of hate mail from everything I do.
Really?
Yeah. Got a lot of hate mail from Walking Dead.
Yeah, I did too. We were talking about that earlier in a different episode. I got hate mail. My first line in Walking Dead was, I was talking to Abraham. I said, hey man, watch this or whatever. I got to send a fax to Cleveland. And I had no idea. I had to look it up in the Urban Dictionary, but it means take a shit.
Yeah.
And then people from Cleveland sent me hate mail.
That's
Saying,
the
fuck
big-
you, man. Why is it Cleveland's fucking awesome? Shitting on Cleveland. Why can't you send a fax to fucking Atlanta? Send a fax to what? Like, fuck you,
I like the
man.
way you got in trouble
Like,
for
yeah.
the term.
Fuck them, man. Like, I didn't know.
I was at so I did Walking Dead. It airs. I think by this point I've also done Stranger Things. And I go to my first convention and I'm signing, and that's a whole other ordeal, right?
It is. Did you sign with a convention company?
No.
No, you just did it on your. How'd you find out? Just someone asked you?
Yeah, just somebody from like I had a social media presence, and then
Yeah.
someone just reached out and said, "Hey,
Okay.
would you come do this thing for us?" Like, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Whatever. And so
So it was a Comic Con as Blur, right?
Yeah. So I'm doing one of these, I'm sitting there signing, and then all of a sudden this like young girl starts walking up towards me. It's gotta be like 12, 13, something like that. She gets right up to my table, and I'm going to go do the spiel. You gotta do the spiel every time. Hey, how are you? If you're interested in something, blah, 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 blah. Before I can even say hey, she spits in my face.
No way.
Hawks this huge fucking loogie, right? And then I see a woman running towards us, and I'm like, oh, it must be the mother here to save me from the spit that's in my face. So I'm clearing out the spit. The mother grabs the daughter and says, "How dare you, you fucking animal," and then walks away because I had molested a kid on a TV show,
Yeah.
a fictional thing.
Yeah.
And so a lot of like death
Suffice
threats.
it to say that mother and daughter were actresses.
Oh,
Crazy fucking wild, right?
Yeah.
They had to. Come on, man.
but
I
I've
know
run into
you're
so
not
many
it.
people that are like upset about shit like that.
But that's great. But you're still a character, and you did a great job. I'm sure. I never saw it, but I didn't watch the show until I was on, and I barely watched it. But my point is, you did a great job if they were that upset.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Now I wouldn't want to be spit on. I mean, unless doing porn or something, then that's different. But
But that's a different podcast.
yeah. No, that's totally different. Totally. I don't know.
He still uses the Dick Too Short name though.
Yeah.
That's the great part.
Too short. Too biatch. So you got how many cons did you do? Comic conventions?
Oh, way too fucking big.
Really?
Yeah.
That's good money.
Yeah.
It's
Great. I do like weird shit to counteract the image of me because I play a lot of bad guys. So I'll like, if you give me $1, I'll sing a Disney song. If you give me $2, I'll slow dance with you, some shit like that.
Yeah.
What about you? Do you do a bunch of conventions?
No, I've never done a convention. I chose not to actually. I did. I signed with a company. I forget the name, but they were a convention company, and they asked me to sign with them. And then I had an opportunity to go to a couple of them, but I just didn't want to do it. And I passed up a lot of money, but I just couldn't. First of all, I didn't think my character was that important. Second of all, I didn't want to be in a gym in Hoboken, New Jersey, a high school gym. I mean, nothing against Hoboken or high school gyms, but I just didn't want to. Not better than that. I just didn't want to spend my weekend doing that. And then I thought there was a sense of like kind of boring. You know what I mean? Like you felt kind of like you just said, "I'll do this for $1, do that for $2." You know what I mean? I just didn't.
Thanks for saying the whoring thing after.
And so many. Well, I just call a spade a spade. And so what I didn't like the fact that like I mean, so many of those people, and you know this, they're so self-absorbed, and so my character was the most important fucking zombie ever. You know what I mean? It's like, dude. And then I didn't want to be remembered forever as the Walking Dead person, which I know a lot of actors that are remembered just for that. Not even the famous ones, the big call sheet guys, but like local actors that were on the Walking Dead, then did the con circuit, and now That's it. Yeah, that's it. You know what I mean?
It's such a weird environment because it is like because I'm of the same mind. I felt always that like my character's irrelevant in the big grand scheme of things. But then you see the industry that sort of come up around that, especially that show specifically. And it's like I remember going to they had an official Comic-Con in here in Atlanta. And so I went to that. I did a table and it was cool because I met a bunch of people through that like sort of idea. So like I'm beside Karen Gillian, I'm beside Stan Lee. It's pretty fucking awesome. And this guy comes from this young Asian man comes up to me and he's like crying and shit. I'm like, what are you gonna spit in on my face too?
Yeah.
And he's like, no, I came from Hong Kong. I have all of these other people's signatures. I just need yours. And it's like, whoa,
Yeah.
that's crazy.
Yeah.
But the fanaticism for a show like that, it's at times frightening, but also times awe-inspiring because I think we're all looking for something that makes us feel like we belong. And if you find a show like that, any sort of medium or art or fiction that makes you feel seen or connected,
Sure.
that's super fucking cool. Creepy, but cool at the same time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so it's just a completely different world. And I totally get the idea of I don't want to be known as strictly that one thing. I think
Yeah.
as an actor, we all want to be chameleons.
Correct.
And I think even without the convention, it's hard to struggle with that
Yeah.
idea.
So you got fan mail, of course. Everyone on Walking Dead got fan mail, even if it's a little bit or a lot. What was the weirdest thing you ever got that you had to sign? Do you remember that?
Things I had to sign. I had to sign somebody's dentures. I signed somebody's baby, like a live baby.
Well, that's actually in Talladega Nights.
Yeah.
When he signs a boob, he just signs a baby's head. Like that's what you would see.
I had to sign a baby's arm and then hold so they could take a picture of it.
They probably tattooed the arm, the little baby arm.
Poor child.
Yeah, no.
I'd be
Yeah.
penmanship.
It will become Keith Brookings as the kid grows.
Exactly.
Their arm gets longer.
Somebody sent me an action figure of Carl, the kid, and
Signed it.
they sent it to my apartment, and I don't know how they got my address. It was weird.
Internet.
Yeah, internet. I should say. I don't know how they got my address. Fucking internet. Everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about you?
Dentures, huh? I don't know. I get a lot of German mail. I think it's very popular in
Just
Germany.
talking about Shiza.
Maybe, yeah. I would get. I never knew it. I have Topps baseball card,
What?
which is cool as shit. Yeah,
Awesome.
yeah. So I got a couple of those and signed them, and then I had to go find one because who else has a baseball card? You know, I never played baseball, so they did a Walking Dead Topps series, and they had like every season, and then they had me, and on the back has your statistics, like your care. It doesn't have your personal name, but it has your Bruce, whoever, blah blah, from Alexandria, Virginia.
That's
height, weight, I guess, and it tells how you died or whatever, or you didn't die or whatever. I can't remember. I have it, but I don't know. I signed a makeup pad one time, so that was weird. I didn't know what it was. Kind of looked like a Tampax, like a pad.
Okay, good.
But it was a damn, yeah. So I don't know. Haven't signed any kids. Never signed a boob. You ever signed a boob?
I haven't signed a boob.
Yeah, it sucks. Well, we suck.
One
We could go so much further.
Yeah.
We could go so much further. All right, who's your who was your favorite person on that show? Like who did you work with besides Carl, because you worked with him the most, but
yeah.
Did you see anybody on that show that you thought was really phenomenal?
I mean, everybody on that show was really nice.
Yeah.
Everybody was very kind. I think the thing was I'd never watched the show, and I still haven't watched the show.
Yeah, me neither.
But the first day I get there, everyone was so cordial to me. We're like in the makeup and hair trailer, and I'm getting the test of the looks and everything like that. I had longer hair at the time, and it's partitioned off, so you have a different makeup chair up here, curtain, and I'm down here. And then all of a sudden, I hear a voice in there.
So hold on, let me explain to everybody that doesn't know. So it's a trailer. It's an 18-wheeler trailer. You have 6 makeup chairs, and then what Keith is talking about is a step up, which goes kind of above where the cab would be, where like the sleeper would be. And that is where they have their own one chair, and it's usually the star of the show with a curtain so that he's it's like first class in an airplane.
Yeah.
Everybody else is in commercial, and he's in first class. Usually that curtain's open, you get to see it, and occasionally you'll get to sit up there, but rarely. Go ahead.
Yeah. So I'm in one of the 6 chairs. I hear a voice from behind the partition say, "Hey, hold on, give me 1 second." And then Steve Yeun opens the curtain, comes out, and says, "Hey, I'm Steve. I just wanted to say welcome to the show. It's a pleasure to meet you." Blah blah blah. And then goes back to get his stuff. Something he did not have to do by any means, but will always stick in my mind as like the most professional thing in the world. And similarly, I remember because on season 4 we had shitty fucking hours. We were shooting 20 hours a day, all that sort of stuff. It was a nightmare. But we had been shooting all night. We're in bumfuck Georgia. We're getting back to our trailers. We're in Transpo. Norman Reedus is beside me, and he sees like all these people still outside at 4 a.m. waiting for signatures.
Crazy.
And you can hear him like, "Oh, I'm so tired, man," or whatever he sounds like. And then I try my hardest. And then
more artsy.
Oh yeah, definitely.
More
definitely. Yeah. So I go to my trailer. I'm changing. I get in my civvies. I get out, and Norman's there signing every single person's thing, making sure that they get the experience that they want, and like just fucking incredible. Like you don't have to do that, but so many people on that show would go above and beyond.
Yeah. So do you ever have any shitty experience with an actor on that show?
No,
never.
No, never.
Didn't see anybody an asshole.
No, but not one of the main cast members.
Oh, okay.
There was a local actor that was kind of an asshole.
Yeah. Why the fuck was he an asshole? Fuck him.
I don't know.
Why was
that guy's always an asshole.
Oh yeah, same guy.
Yeah,
you've seen him before.
Yeah.
Fuck that guy.
Yeah, fuck that guy. But everybody else, Andrew Lincoln's the sweetest person in the world.
Yeah, great guy.
Great guy. Like everybody was super nice to me.
Great guy. All right, so you got off that show. You did Stranger Things, which I actually have never seen. Everybody hates me for that, but I'm not a sci-fi guy.
I watched the first season. I loved the first season. I got cast in the second season. It was like,
where'd you play in that?
I just played a gas station owner. I got
1 episode, 2 episodes?
Yeah, 1 episode. Got my ass kicked by the main character.
Okay. Yep. And then after that, what'd you do?
Oh fuck! This is a long time ago, man.
Okay, so all right, let's jump ahead then. What is your? I'm not asking you to go for every credit you have. What's your favorite job you've ever had? Hey guys, thanks for tuning into Scale Plus Ted, and I want to give a special shout out to Maple Street Biscuits, our sponsor for this episode. You ever want a good biscuit? Go to them. That's a good biscuit. That's a really good biscuit. Really, you want to bite?
The Trojan condom card. No, just
favorite acting job.
Oh, I don't know. Do you have a favorite that you do?
Once again, not your podcast, but I will try. Let's see. No, I mean they're all good. I think
I like that answer. They're all
no. I mean you're working. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so exactly.
It's a lot of fun. I've had shitty ones, and I've had great ones, and I've had good ones. I don't know. My favorite. It would be hard. I'd have to think about it. I put you on the spot, so now you've got time to think. Go ahead.
Yeah, great. It's hard for me to sort of distinguish which one would be the favorite because they all. Every time I go do a gig, it feels like it's summer camp. You know what I mean? Like you have this electrifying, once in a lifetime experience with this group of people, and then you move on and do it again with a different group of people.
Yeah.
And there's something magical or strenuous or funny about every single one of them. Like, so I'm in this new show on Netflix called The Man in Full.
Now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And so like it just aired. It's 6 episodes. I'm in 4 of the episodes. I play this prisoner named Mutt. I'm just loud, man. I'm just wiling out the entire fucking time. And it was directed by Tommy Schlamme and Regina King. And they're amazing. And they just like, yeah, go have fun. And cool. So I'm just cussing. I'm saying stuff about people's titties. I'm just going crazy on this thing. And that was a lot of fun.
Improv.
Yeah. That's the word, improv.
So it wasn't written. None of this shit.
Some of it was.
But they let you go way off.
Yeah. And it was cool to have that experience, to have the directors, especially directors like the guy who fucking did West Wing and So I Married an Axe Murderer, and Regina King, the legend that she is, trust you to go do whatever you want to do. That's a cool experience. Then I'm also on an Apple TV show that's on right now called Manhunt, where I play this character called the River Ghost. And I'm just like, I look like if the Undertaker was from Missouri. Like it's this giant ass beard, and I'm wearing like fish scales and a big hat, and that terrified me. And it was fun to wear this costume and just creep around in the Savannah River and just do weird shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think every single gig has its perks and its fun and something that it brings to the table.
Yeah, of course. You have a show or a movie that you fucking hated?
Yeah.
Terrible experience.
Yeah. Oh.
And not just working. Like I think Walking Dead for me was a very physical, demanding role, and I hate to say that because there's guys that are my buddies that are welders and fucking construction workers, and
Yeah.
that's physically demanding and shitty and terrible. But as far as an acting gig goes, we were fucking sweaty and dirty, and that's the look of the show. They wanted you to be. So it's very not much pampering, and you're in the swamp, and you're in this that they were snake wranglers and all that shit. So for me, that was the most physically demanding. And I'm a sweater,
Yeah.
and you fucking were sweating all the time. Makeup was a joke, you know. So
For me, like I think there's always the challenges. There's definitely the ones where you have shitty people on it and you don't want to work with them, or
Yeah.
you have a shitty director or something like that. That just proves to be difficult. I had even on Walking Dead, the big scene of me like molesting a kid. So we're shooting it and it's like 3 a.m. And it's the middle of November and it's November 15th. It's my birthday actually that we're shooting this. And for 8 hours, I'm having to shoot me molesting a kid. And it's going full on. Like Michelle MacLaren was the director for that, and she had just cut off Game of Thrones. So it's intense. There are 8 cameras with actual film reeling all around me, while take after take, I'm molesting a person, right?
Yeah.
And it's fucking. After doing it, I was just so sick to my stomach. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
exhausted, right?
Yeah.
And
Mentally drained.
mentally drained. What a birthday present. So there was that. Then I also think like I had a director. I did a show called Good Girls, and it's Christina Hendricks. Fantastic. I'm doing this scene where they're coming to me to try to get something from me, some illegal something. I don't even remember. And I'm supposed to be dismissing this person. That's what the script says. Choice I'm making, whatever. The director keeps coming up to me and saying, "I need you to look at her tits." And I'm like, "What?" And he's an older white man. He's like, "I need you to look at her tits more." And I'm like, "Okay, I'll check them out, I guess." So I add this dimension to it, I guess. So I do that, and then he comes back up and he's like, "No, I need you to fucking stare at her tits." And Christina's right here, and he's pointing at them, and it just is so fucking uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing, man? Like, this is,
Yeah.
it was just uncalled for. There was nothing in the script about it.
Yeah.
It just felt so weird.
Yeah.
And you can look up that director because I don't remember his name because fuck him.
Good. I like that.
Yeah, but that's,
He deserves that.
yeah.
So that sets you off. Like in other words, people don't understand, but that can fuck up your whole not day, but persona and like how you do the scene and like can throw you.
And it was just weird. It felt disrespectful to her.
Oh, sir.
You know what I mean? And that's, I don't like people that are just gonna be, if you're gonna be disrespectful to bust my balls, that's great. That's fun. I like that. Mock me. That's cool. As long as it's playful. But if you're just gonna be disrespectful to people to be an asshole,
Yeah.
why the fuck do I want to be around that?
Yeah, for sure.
You know?
No, I agree with you there. Who is the coolest person you ever worked with?
Nick Cage is pretty cool.
Nick Cage.
Nicholas Holt's pretty cool. Ted Huckabee
No,
is
fuck
the
off.
coolest person I've ever worked
We've never
with.
worked together.
Well, this counts as work.
No, this doesn't work. You're not getting paid shit.
Oh, fuck that!
There's your free.
Martin, you
You get a
lie.
scofflaw. You get a couple of scofflaws there. Thank you, scofflaw. Best beer in America. Scofflaw.
Yep, so delicious. Mm.
Ding. So no, tell us about Nick Cage. You're telling. How'd you meet Nick?
So I'm doing a movie called Renfield in New Orleans with Chris McKay, the awesome director. I'd done a film called Tomorrow War with him prior to that, with Chris Pratt. So we're in, and I told everybody the story, so they're going to be bored, but I already said it. But fuck it, here it goes again. So we're in this like giant gymnasium doing the read through, and a gymnasium converted to a studio. I'm sitting beside Chris McKay, another great Atlanta actor, Josh Michael, who's absolutely fantastic. Aquafina's right there. Ben Schwartz is over here. It's already a cool room. Everybody here is super fucking sweet and nice. And then all of a sudden, we hear Spurs enter, like Clint Eastwood's going to take over the place, right? And I'm looking around like, what the fuck is that? And I look and I see Nicolas Cage in all black with metal cowboy boots on, walking in
With Spurs.
with Spurs, and somebody's behind him with a fucking raven on a pole, like
A real bird.
a real
A
fucking
crow.
bird. Yeah, and he's also got like pet turtles and pet cats
Oh yeah.
and all this stuff.
He's
They're not with
famous
him.
for his animals. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm just staring at it, and like nobody else seems to pay attention to this, and I'm just watching this parade of oddity like come across the room. They get their seat. We're supposed to have breakfast, right? So I go up to this like little concierge thing to grab me a bagel because I'm a fat ass. So I walk up to this thing and I'm like, "Can I get blah 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 blah?" And the lady looks at me and goes, "No." And I'm like, "Okay, that's no explanation. Okay, cool." Then I just go back to my seat. My buddy Josh is like, "I thought you were getting breakfast." I'm like, "I thought I was too, but I guess I am not." And then I look over and I see Nick Cage walk over to the food thing and then comes back with like 6 fucking plates and sets them down. I'm like, "Oh, yeah, they'll serve movie star Nick Cage, but not me. What kind of place is this?" But anyway, but Nick is super sweet guy. He eats me later in the movie, and we had a lovely chat.
Did you get breakfast?
No,
What was the deal with that?
I don't know. I was too scared to go back and
You didn't go
ask.
back ever.
No, ever.
Did any other actor get breakfast?
No,
Just Nick.
just Nick.
So it's Nick's on personal chef there.
I'm assuming. I have no idea.
Well, he sat down for the table read.
Yeah.
What happened to the fucking bird?
Somebody took it back to his trailer.
Just part of the entrance.
Yeah.
It's like a wrestler.
Yeah, he like pyro coming out.
Yeah, big.
The lights go out.
Yeah, the smoke. Yeah,
And then
you hear the song.
rest in
Yeah,
peace.
yeah. You hear the song,
Rest in peace.
and all y'all at the table read turn and go,
Yeah. Those, oh,
no.
yeah.
And Nick is coming in.
Fucking amazing. And Nicholas Holt is amazing as well. If you've never worked with Nicholas Holt, he is the hardest working actor I've ever met.
Oh.
Just like there's a lot of action stuff in Renfield, and he's doing it all. He has a wonderful stunt double as well, but he is so dedicated to the craft.
Was he in Stranger Things?
No, he's in About a Boy when he was a kid.
Yeah,
He's the new Lex Luthor in the new Superman movie.
Okay.
X-Men, he's Beast.
Oh, wow, you guys dropping all kind of fucking character names. Should watch more movies. Yeah. Should be in more movies.
Yeah. Do you watch a lot of movies?
I do not, man. I should.
Mhm.
I like a lot of documentaries. If I have time, and I have 2 daughters and jobs and all that shit, but if I have time, I'll scroll through Netflix and watch a documentary.
What kind of are you doing? True crime?
Everything. No, everything, man. So, I just started a 3-part documentary on Ashley Madison. Yeah,
I started that yesterday too.
Yeah.
That shit's crazy.
Because I'm married, and when Ashley Madison blew up, right, and I had no idea. I didn't know anything about it.
Sure you did.
I didn't, I swear. But I was begging my wife for us to join
Oh,
when it blew up, so I could see so I could see the names of people in my neighborhood.
Oh,
Because they were making it sound like it was fucking everybody. You know what I mean? And I was like, I gotta know like who is part of this shit, man. Like, please, let's. And of course, she wouldn't let us because then our names would have been on it. I was like, they're cool. They know it's not us, but I knew like the way the media sounded is like you would know somebody. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I probably did. I mean, they said there was everybody. You know?
Yeah.
I'm only the first episode, but they said
too.
they had 70
million people. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fucking insane.
It is insane.
And it's so compelling of a story that I didn't think would be compelling.
Yeah.
And I want that one kid. I just want to watch his life fall apart.
Yeah, but it's not fall apart because he's obviously still with that lady.
Yeah.
I mean, with his girlfriend, her wife. She's pretty.
It's really pretty.
Back to it. No, and so I watch documentaries, man. I love them all. My buddy the other day, I'm not a big wrestling fan, but I'm an old school wrestling fan to an extent. I used to work for TBS.
Oh, cool.
And I worked at, I did some wrestling gigs for them. And so I met a lot of wrestlers when I was like 15, 16, kind of the same backdrop as you. I had a lot of jobs of really like, how did you get in this position at this young age? But at 16, I worked for TBS as a grip for a handheld camera. And I worked down at Center Stage, and
That's awesome.
and they would do the Friday night live wrestling, but
Yeah.
they tape it on Wednesday night. It wasn't live at all, and it was taped.
Yeah.
Anyway, I got to meet all those cool guys backstage, and so Ric Flair, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, fucking Kamal the Ugandan Headhunter, fucking Iron Sheik, all those cool Georgia wrestlers that became
legend
WCW wrestlers before they became WWE wrestlers or whatever. Anyway, my buddy, who's a big wrestling fan, man. Matter of fact, he's about to get a full piece here of Ric Flair with his robe, like that's a tattoo. He's gonna do that tattoo. He sent me. There's a brand new documentary out. Just came out 2 days ago, and it's Dusty Rhodes, who's one of my favorites, and Ric Flair. It's about their friendship and battle and robbery and all that. So I'll watch that when I get a chance. And then last night with my daughter, she's a big Marvel fan. I am not a big sci-fi Marvel fan. It spends too much reality. I'm more of an actor movie style where I don't want to see CGI, but it is what it is. What we're talking about. We watched that new Spider-Woman movie, whatever it is, with Dakota.
Madam Web.
Oh my gosh,
So fucking awful.
so many
Bought it on
holes.
Blu-ray.
So many holes, man.
It's just,
And my daughter's trying to fill them in for me, and I'm like, wait, who is this? Wait, who's the guy? And that's that guy. So we didn't see him change.
well, it's not
We
even.
didn't see him come to it.
And it's not even to me. It's just also like some shitty filmmaking in it. Like I
Yeah.
feel that the bad guy, every single line he has is ADR.
Well,
and
also he's 30 years older. He doesn't look 30 years old. They didn't make him look the same.
They gave him like a little bit of white out in his hair,
Yeah.
and that's like I look fucking older than this dude now.
And if the spiders have superpowers in the jungle, why didn't they save the mom? She just dies right there. Why do they have underwater? Are spiders born underwater?
Some are, yeah.
Well, then that makes a little sense.
Yeah,
it made no sense. Yeah.
I think it's like, to me.
And how does she not have spider powers? Her only power was to
see the future,
but she didn't see all future.
But everybody else that has the spider powers can do that stupid Twilight run across the trees,
right?
And it's like, I think,
and they bit the mom in the chest right before she had the baby.
And so you would think that she would sprout legs or something, but nothing.
And how did she discover the power? By falling in the river. And then when she fell in the river, her little CGI image looked like a stick figure. It didn't even look like spending money.
It's just a dumbass movie, and it has some great actors in it. I love Sydney Sweeney. I think she's phenomenal.
She is the new it girl.
Yeah, I think
Speaking of looking at boobs.
Oh, God, right. God,
yeah.
Give me a call, Sydney Sweeney.
Wow.
Fucking
you'll stare at those.
I will Madam Web all over.
Wow.
Anyway, but I think it's also like, I think Dakota Johnson is very charismatic.
I do, pretty girl.
Yeah, and I just think the dialogue was shitty. They didn't let them commit to a film style throughout the entire thing. I direct, like, and so to me,
I'm terrible with names, but the casting of her co-star as the paramedic, he's the comedian guy.
Yeah, it's great.
I think it was a bad casting.
I'll see. I like him. I think he's the best casting.
It wasn't fun. He's a funny guy. When you see him, you think funny, and it wasn't a funny role.
But I still think he has enough charisma to trap you in, to get you in.
Threw me right when I saw. I was like, "Is this gonna be a comedy? Is he gonna say something to me?" And he did.
Mike Epps is the one.
And then they had Mike Epps,
and I was like, "Why the fuck is Mike Epps?"
And I'm like, "Why is Mike Epps in this motherfucker?"
And he
didn't do anything funny. And he looked at the camera one time. Now it's a Marvel movie, man. Y'all shot that same
it's
fucking
a Sony Marvel movie, and
they had enough money to redo it.
Oh,
hey, Mike, man, I don't mean to tell you that, but you look in the camera right now when you're flipping the burger, like fucking.
Are they scared of Mike Epps?
They must be.
And Emma Roberts shows up,
and he dies right away.
Right away, not doing anything for the fucking movie.
Epps, right? And they
could have got a local actor for that.
It's easy.
Scale plus 10 or Ted.
Yeah.
Depending on what show you do.
Fuck that.
I would have done it. Fine. I'll be in shitty movies. That's fine. Call me. I'll be a Mike Epps.
And I never would squeeze the burger. I did like that because you're never supposed to squeeze the burger. But they made a big deal out of that. That was the most dialogue.
Like pressing down?
Yeah. That was. You don't remember that? She kept saying, "Stop pressing the burger. You're losing all the flavor." Like that. Why is that even dialogue in this movie? It was weird, man.
But that's also, you got to squeeze them if you're gonna make smash burger.
It was weird. I think the best actress in that movie was not Sydney Sweeney. It was the black girl who had the skateboard. I don't know her name.
Great.
She did great. She had little nuances.
Yeah.
She had little particulars that you saw when you weren't when the camera wasn't looking. I was like, yeah, she's good. She's good.
Yeah.
So I hope she gets work.
Yeah.
I'm sure movie.
The other girl, the other one that's of those three, she's a hot girl now in the new Superman movie. So there's that.
Yeah. Seems like you were watching that. So don't worry about what they're doing, man. They don't. It doesn't matter about those fuckers.
Martin was just pulling out his dick talking about.
No, Martin loves talking about movies. So he probably thought that was a great film, but he's not on my podcast.
Oh, okay.
He's just a producer. All right. So who would you, if you could work with anybody, who would you work with, dead or alive?
Oh. I have a really big crush on Neve Campbell. So just work with her. Vincent D'Onofrio probably, or Michael Caine. Those would be the big ones.
Wow, D'Onofrio. He hadn't done much in a long time. Did you ever see? But he worked steadily like the last 5 years. But in the last 2 years, I haven't seen much of him. Did you ever see him in The Bodyguard?
No.
You hadn't seen that? Not the Kevin Costner Bodyguard.
Yeah, that's the one I was thinking.
No, he was very young. He was probably 22. It was a New York movie, and he's a body. Is it what? My Bodyguard. Fucking whatever. My fucking he hi. What are your pronouns? My the. And he was a New York tough kid that helps out this high school kid, and it's one of his first parts. If you're a fan of him, yeah, because I was a fan back then. It's cool.
Yeah, you should watch Happy Accidents.
Let me see it.
It's him and Marissa Tomei in a romantic comedy. It's not a romantic comedy, but it's about
Yeah.
Something that's slight sci-fi. So I know you don't like sci-fi, but it's still.
I mean, I'll watch it. My daughter's a big fan. I prefer films where it's actor to actor, head to head.
And that's why I think you like
script
this.
to script. You know what I mean?
Because I think Tomei and D'Onofrio are both just incredible.
What's your favorite movie of all time?
Psycho by Alfred Hitchcock.
The first one.
Yeah.
The only one. I mean, it's not the only one. They remade it.
Yeah, and there's sequels to
The
it,
actual.
but yeah.
Yeah, but the actual, not the
Yeah.
not the 1990 ones. But
Psycho was the first movie I watched that, like that moment on stage where I got it. Psycho was the first movie I watched where I got it.
How old were you?
13, maybe?
Yeah. You think I was too young to watch that movie?
Yeah, definitely. But I was also too young for me to watch it because then I became interested in the story behind it. And like Ed Gein and Robert Bloch, and started reading all their stuff. And Robert Bloch was a monumental writer. He wrote the novelization that the movie's based on. But he also wrote like Star Trek, Twilight Zone, shit like that.
Yeah.
And then Ed Gein, the notorious serial killer, it's based on.
Yeah. And you said you'd want to work with the two actors you mentioned, but who's your favorite actor? Is that
Probably D'Onofrio. There's a special place in my heart for Michael J. Fox.
what did you think?
I don't think he's the best craft wise, but I do think he's great at what he does.
Yeah.
But he is a part of my childhood, like Teen Wolf, Back to the Future. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was kidding. Frighteners is one of my favorite movies. Peter Jackson directed.
I don't know.
It's great. It's a weird, like Ghostbusters-esque movie with Michael J. Fox and the fuck is the guy's name? He is the reanimator. Oh my god, I'm gonna be so mad.
Okay. Okay. I don't know any of these names. So it's okay. And I can't pull names out of my ass to save my life, so it doesn't matter. My life would be dead.
Okay.
But yeah, it's kind of crazy. So what are you working on now?
Right now I'm writing a lot. I'm producing. So I try to stay busy as much as I can. I have a production company called Bean Dip Productions.
Bean Dip.
Yeah. So me and my buddy Trevor were co-own that, and so we're producing this Dungeons and Dragons actual play thing. I'm not into Dungeons and Dragons because I like when women touch me. And so I'm doing that. We're producing it. I'm editing it. It's for a friend of mine. He's starting a whole channel of this stuff.
Of Dungeons and Dragons stuff.
Yeah.
Is that still popular?
Yeah, it's
Now, is it 50-year-old men or is it young kids?
it's actually across the board.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it came up when I was a kid.
Yeah.
It was brand new when I was like in 5th, 6th grade.
But I think there's like a big resurgence of it now.
That's what I was asking. So
Yeah.
I never was into it.
Me either.
I had friends that were, but I never got into it.
Yeah.
I didn't know anything about it.
Yeah, I didn't either. And so I've had to watch a bunch of it, and it's all boring. But whatever. Like Stranger Kid,
Producers. That's
yeah,
the production
Stranger
company.
Things like has brought it back, and
Oh, because they played it. Because back in the 80s. That makes
yeah,
sense.
yeah.
That
So
makes sense. You ever see E.T.?
yeah,
You
cool.
liked it?
Yeah.
It's the 80s movie.
What a weird fucking question. You ever seen it?
My mind, the way my mind works is I'm already like 3 steps ahead. No offense to you, but I'm already 3 steps
Oh,
ahead. Just how it worked. And you said Stranger Things, and then you said Dungeons and Dragons. That brought me back to the 80s. Then I remember in Stranger Things, they're riding BMX bikes. And I used to race
there we
BMX,
go.
and that threw me to ET, where they had actual Kuwaharas.
Did
The BMX race bike.
Did you race BMX like
I did.
for fun or professional?
No, there are professionals, but you had to be over 16. So I was 12 expert, which was the highest class you could
Oh
get.
shit! Okay.
And I was sponsored and all that. So co-sponsored.
That's amazing.
It's called factory support. So I wasn't fully sponsored, but I loved it, man. I was a big BMX guy back from when I was 10 to 12. And then single mom, we moved and couldn't get to the track as much. So then I went to freestyle, went to skateboarding. I was always the kind of inner city like BMX kid. My bicycle was my freedom and my release, and there's the new bicycle.
Yeah.
There, so we do that a lot.
Did you prefer the biking or the skating?
I was never great at skating. I was great at BMX racing and bicycling. I can still hop on. My girls all the time laugh their ass off because we'll go to the beach and we'll rip beach cruisers, and I'll ride it backwards, and I'll surf on it. I'll stay on the seat on the bars, and
That's amazing.
I'll ride for like a mile backwards, sitting on the handlebars, pedaling, looking over my shoulder backwards, no hands, stuff like that, and it freaks them out, And I can ride a bike good. That's not any doesn't fucking pay, but I enjoy riding bikes.
But I bet it's on your special skills.
But skateboarding, fuck, I was never, I would go to a ramp and I'd be too afraid to drop in. I never dropped in, never. Yeah. But I had a bunch of skater buddies. I still have buddies that are fucking 60 years old that are professional. They were professional skaters and they still skate 2-3 times a week. And it's incredible. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful art form. Skateboarding vertical. I think it's really, really pretty, really cool.
I agree completely. Yeah. That was a big thing in my youth, skateboarding all the way.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, I'm too much of a fat ass now. But back then,
yeah,
I enjoyed the fuck out of it.
Yeah. I wish I had my skateboard decks. They're worth a lot of money. Yeah. I got that's a new skateboard deck. But now they're making them you can get your own skateboard deck made. And so you can buy like a T-shirt. So you can buy 100 skateboard decks for not much money with that, whatever you want, whatever design you want, screen printed on it. So you can do one for your production company.
Yeah.
You can do skateboard decks and hand them out or sell them at conventions. Yeah. So everybody does it now. It's kind of a cool. It's just a piece of wood, right? It's wood.
That's cool. Awesome, man.
All right. So you're working on just a production company.
Production company stuff. Some acting stuff that I can't say yet.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, you don't have to, and it would time it anyway. Make this just period. You know what I mean? We don't want to make it 2 periods.
Yeah.
2 period. All right. So if you could say his name, who's the biggest a-hole you ever worked with, or her name?
Ooh.
And you can say the name if you want to.
Yeah.
You ever been on set with somebody just as a total fucking dick?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tons of times.
Tons of times.
The one that comes to mind isn't actually from a set, but it's from a convention thing.
Oh.
The guy, I don't know his name, Tommy, Irish dude with the scar.
Oh yeah, from
Sons of Anarchy.
Yeah, Sons of Anarchy. Yeah.
He's kind of a dick.
Really?
I was at a convention and this like young girl. So he was like 2 tables down. I'm here. I'm signing shit. And suddenly like, this little girl went to take a picture of him on her cell phone. He gets up, he grabs the phone, he smashes it.
No way.
Yeah, and she's got to be not even a teenager.
No fucking way.
Starts this whole tirade cursing, and maybe he had a bad day. I don't know.
Everybody says that. That's bullshit.
But it's bullshit.
It's like saying you hit my mom. Oh, you had a bad day. That's no fucking excuse.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And so that was like the most. That's the moment of dickery that sticks out in my
really.
First,
so at a convention, this guy Tommy, whatever his name is, I don't know.
South Carolina, I want to say we were in. No, maybe Tennessee. But yeah, so he just breaks the fucking phone
because she's got to pay for a picture. But he broke her fucking phone.
Grabbed the phone, threw it.
And he's probably high enough where he had handlers.
Yeah.
You're tabled by yourself.
I think I had a handler at that one.
Okay.
Mr. I have to be by myself. I can't have a handler.
I didn't mean that. I meant,
calling me a whore and you're 3 steps ahead of me.
No offense to you. No offense to you, but I don't think you're high enough as a Tommy guy. I don't think you're. And if you smash more phones, maybe you get more.
Maybe that's what I need to do. But so he smashes the phone. He's like giving a tirade. In
a fucking convention.
And people are coming to try to settle him down, and then he storms out, and then all of his handlers have to gather his shit. He just leaves,
and that was it.
And so it's like, this convention was Walking Dead, Sons of Anarchy. So they
were the headliners.
They were the headliners.
Yeah.
So I'm getting like, it was a fun time the rest of the weekend. We had like Henry Winkler was fucking there.
Fun.
John Rhys Davies was there. Tatanka, the wrestler. There was a section of this where I wanted to get a new tattoo. So I went to this tattoo booth in the corner and people could come up and I would still sign stuff while I was getting tattooed. It was like a little gimmick or whatever. It was a fun fucking weekend. And then dickbag just smashes the phone.
Wow. That's crazy. That's fucking crazy. That pisses me off. I didn't like his character anyway. Who was your favorite character on Sons of Anarchy? Ever watch it?
Never watched it.
Oh, that's a good show. If you like motorcycles, it's a good show. Yeah. It was fun. It's a good show.
They have a spin-off for that one too, right? Mayans or something?
Mayans, yeah. I never watched it. Never watched it. What's your favorite TV show?
Twin Peaks.
Ever?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
I love it. I don't know. Something about David Lynch. I just like everything he does. I like the fact that Twin Peaks has the feeling of a soap opera, but with this noir undertone to it.
Yeah.
It feels so mystical. Yeah, I just dig it.
Yeah.
What are you?
Favorite TV show? Ooh. Ever? Oh, that's hard. I don't know. As a kid, I watched Chips religiously.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, you're younger than me, but Chips was a fucking bomb back
in
the day.
Prago's dad was on Chips.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Fucking Prago's never told. I've known Prago 25 years. Never told me that. Well, he just had a small part. I mean, yeah. He wasn't Officer Gutierrez or anything. That'd be awkward. And I'd be really pissed that I meet somebody. That's weird. Fucking Prago.
What a fucking douche.
No, what a douche. You said he was a douche.
He is.
Yeah, I mean, you said you liked him. Douche. I don't think he's a douche. All right, so favorite TV show. Yeah. I'm trying to go through. I don't have any pre-made questions here. Keith, you're a very interesting guy. I think you're very smart.
Thank you.
I'm probably only 2 steps ahead of you.
Oh, that's a compliment.
Now, because usually 3 steps for average people, but you were in debate club, so I have to think about that, and that's called a recall when you go back. I'm working on my self-deprecating rapper. That's gonna be, you put that in my mind because I do like stand up. I do like stand up.
Do you do stand up?
I used to. I've done it a couple of times. We were talking about earlier. It's hard when you have kids because it's a late night gig, and And fuck, man, another thing to be hard at. You know what I mean? Like, that's a tough road.
It's to me, like, stand up is like sculpting, right? Because you have an idea of what it's going to be, but you got to fine tune it, and chop stuff off until you get to the perfect thing. And to me, that takes so much time. And I feel it's different than acting because we'll do all of our private work, but when we get on set, something else is created there,
Yeah.
and it can sort of freeform itself. But with stand up, you're really toning in yourself. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Based on, giving it to other people, seeing what laughs and all that stuff. It just feels like such a specific time investment of art.
Yeah. If you could do one thing, whether it be a film, and it's a really popular, this is hypothetical, really popular film, or really popular TV show, but you only got to pick one, which would you do?
Really popular film.
Film. Why?
I have a lot of animals, so I think with
You have a
TV,
raven?
I have 2 dogs,
You
4
ain't got
cats, and a
shit.
rabbit. Yeah,
A rabbit?
it's awesome.
That's weird. You
Um,
ever seen Sharon Stone movie?
Basic Instinct.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah. I was like,
Yeah,
her
they
vagina.
cook a rabbit. No.
Yeah,
That's a beaver.
that is a beaver.
You don't have a beaver.
I don't have a beaver.
No.
That's a good beaver though.
Was it?
I think so. For the time.
You ever seen a bad beaver?
Yes.
You have?
I've seen a bad.
No, see, you're like every dude. It's like, oh, man, she gave me a blowjob. It's terrible. Fuck you. It's a fucking blowjob. Are you kidding?
100%. Blowjobs are amazing.
Yeah.
But I
So you
think
saw a bad beaver?
I did. Yeah, and I've seen a couple bad beavers.
Really?
Yeah.
Never seen one I don't like.
But have you like only seen like 4 or 5 or like
This week?
Oh, damn.
Yeah, my wife shouldn't hear that. Yeah. But I watch a lot of porn.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, good.
Not in person have I seen 4 this week.
But you haven't like accidentally stumbled upon a porn that was like blown out pussies number 9 or something like that.
I hadn't seen that one yet, and I'll be lost because I have seen 1 through 4.
Yeah.
If I jump to 9,
Well, the only character that remains is Chelsea. But I
no
think
way.
yeah.
What happened to fucking Mercedes?
She got written off.
Oh,
I think she's
stop. I don't want to hear it. I want to.
I think she's going to be in like the Hobbs and Shaw spinoff.
It's hard when I watch it in 3-minute segments. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's hard to get through a whole episode.
That's being very gracious.
Yeah. It's foreplay included. Where were we? I don't know. Talking about beavers. Oh, you before the beaver line, Sharon Stone. So you have a lot of animals. You would do a movie. Why? You said because of movies.
Yeah, I think schedule.
That's 3 steps ahead right there.
Yeah, that's
look at there.
Backed up a little.
Yeah,
bit. Yes.
whatever.
I think it's because schedule a TV show. I mean, like that's just a lot of
Oh,
stuff.
so you're saying you have responsibility at home?
Yeah.
You got to feed the rabbit.
Yeah.
For real?
She's got to have a fresh salad.
We just had a fucking hypothetical here. If you're starring in a TV show and or movie, you probably have a dude that can feed your. You get fucking proud to feed your pets. He loves pets.
What? Yeah, that's true. Do you like to work?
Yes.
Like, do you like to work as in you want to constantly be working, or do you like to work and then have time off?
And honestly, if you ask me the same question, I like film. I think movies are the coolest.
Me too.
Me personally.
Yeah.
Also, don't want to be typecast. I like playing different roles.
Me too.
I don't want to be typecast as Rick.
Yeah.
No offense to Andrew Lincoln, but I feel like, and he did a wonderful job. I've praised him a million times.
Yeah.
But I feel like as any actor, when you play, if you're Punch from Chips, you're always seen as Punch. I will always go and fucking see Eric Estrada and be like, Punch! Yeah. I met John Schneider, and I was like, Bo Duke! I had to say it. And I thought about it. I shouldn't have said it, but I did say it. But my point is, the hardest part about being an actor, in my opinion, is not working. So it's those lulls.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's a double-edged sword. I wouldn't want to be on a TV show, although I'll take it. I'd love to have it. Love to have the money. Love to have all of that comes with it. But if I had the opportunity, I'd like to play different roles in different big films for the rest of my life.
Absolutely.
Instead of one fucking 9-year TV show, 10-year TV show, and that's it.
You know and I feel like with a movie, you get to do it and walk away from it.
Yeah.
And then reconfigure
like
yourself.
I said, everywhere you go, you're Punch. Absolutely. Everywhere you go, you're Rick.
And you
guaranteed Andrew walks down the street and be like,
absolutely. Even if he's done other stuff in between, he did a Guillermo del Toro Cabinet of Curiosity thing, and he was great in it.
Love Actually,
so good. But I think it's rare that television actors get to have the chance to reinvent themselves. I think William Shatner. I mean, he's obviously going to be Kirk, but he's also T.J. Hooker. You know,
but you always see him. Back of your mind, you always think Kirk, no matter what.
No matter what.
I mean, you can maybe name 2 actors. I don't even know who they are. Maybe 3 that you don't think of who they were. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I remember a fellow actor was telling me, they want to see you, Ted. He was a coach, and he's like, they want to see you. They want the audience wants to see you. And I told him, I said, I want to be fucking unrecognizable.
Me too.
That's the goal of being an actor, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I don't want Ted Huckabee to come through ever.
Yeah.
Ever.
Same here.
Whatever character, Cletus fucking dickhead.
I want to embody that.
Correct.
So you don't confuse me with the character.
Correct.
That character serves a purpose in that story.
But to his point, every time you see De Niro, every time you see Pacino, every time you see any really famous, wonderful, successful actor, you think that's them. Kevin Costner is not much different than Kevin Costner. When you hear him talk and this whole divorce proceeding, you saw him talk, he was not much more than any character you ever saw him play.
Well, and I also wonder, Lee Strasberg said that in all of us, when we're coming up with characters, we're fragmenting ourselves, and you're seeing a portion of ourselves, right?
You have to see some of you, I'm seeing.
Yeah. So, like, to me, I wonder if, like, Pacino doing Tony Scarface.
Tony Montana, you were right.
Yeah, Tony Montana is not what I think of Pacino in his daily life.
Yeah.
But I'm sure there's an aspect of it.
Yeah.
So that when I see him later, it's almost like, oh, there he is. I did a show called Dope Sick, right? And I'm playing this drug dealer, and I'm talking to Michael Keaton. And that was a thrill because I'm an '80s baby, so fucking Batman's right there.
Yeah.
And so the scene is, I pull up in a car, and I'm trying to sell this guy drugs, and Keaton threatens me. And he walks up to the truck, and he's very calm. And then he just stares in my eyes. For a second, I see him and Batman. You want to get nuts? Let's get nuts. I see it in his face. I'm like, oh my God, there he is. I found him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's such a surreal thing. And I wonder if that happens to us often when we're seeing slivers of their portrayal in their daily life.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, you can't hire Nick Cage without having Nick Cage.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
It doesn't matter, right?
Even if he's doing something completely different, you're still going to see that thing.
Always going to see Matthew McConaughey as all right. Always.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It doesn't matter. But that's what people are paying for.
Yeah.
That's what they want to see. You know what I mean?
That's what you get when you get the name. You get that.
Yeah.
That thing.
There's a part, it doesn't matter what the part is. So I see what my guy was telling me, but at the same time, I would say that like a Daniel Day-Lewis, you don't think of him as any actor, as any character.
But you also, at a certain point, I think Daniel Day-Lewis becomes bigger than any character he can be.
Yeah.
So, like, even if his portrayal doesn't resemble anything else, it's Daniel Day-Lewis.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Or what's his name? Help me out, Martin. They got all pissed off on set.
Christian Bale.
Yes, thank you. Same thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Christian Bale, I think, is a chameleon.
Yeah.
And that's what I want to be. But I think almost to a degree, going under the radar and not being as big as Tommy Phone Slinger helps you, enables you to do that.
Yeah.
Because they don't know to look for you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Do you think he was justified in doing that?
The phone thing, or
the yelling at the fucking guy and
the lighting guy?
Yeah.
I think there was probably a lot more that happened.
Sure. Once again, don't be a pussy. You're saying he had a bad day. We're not doing that. Fuck that guy. I'm just saying. Don't fucking tell me, okay, we're not going to work. And if you work Christian, that's great. I think Christian Bale's a wonderful actor. I just said it.
I say that because
he may have had a bad day, but fuck it. He's still an actor.
Yeah, he's still an actor.
He should be nice.
Yeah.
You think it was justified?
No.
You weren't there.
No.
I wouldn't either, but I don't think it was justified.
I don't think you should ever raise your voice at somebody unless it's a dangerous situation.
Yeah.
I can understand being upset with him for being in my eye line. I think the anger is justified, but I don't think the execution of it is justified.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
And the long drawn out. I loved listening to it as a
so
fan.
great.
It was great.
Oh my God.
But the long drawn out lasted for fucking 5 minutes. Like, give the guy a break. You already chewed his ass. Like,
but I
stop chewing.
I hate watching those videos of like directors. Like, there's one from I Heart Huckabees.
Yeah.
Of the director just going off.
Yeah.
Just being a dick.
Yeah, I remember.
David Russell or whatever.
Yeah.
I fucking hate that video.
I sent them a resume just because my last name.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah, I didn't get shit. You can fucking letter back. Fuck you.
Fuckers.
Leave this life. He wants to be an actor anyway. All right, if you could drink a beer with anybody living or dead, who would it be? Doesn't have to be an actor.
Oh, that's tough.
Yeah?
It could be Steve Irwin.
Oh, fucking Crocky?
Yeah.
Crikey, mate.
Because I think,
Really?
I think he would be a good one.
Yeah, some people might say Jesus. They might say, like, Genghis Khan. They might say fucking whoever.
I don't think Jesus would handle beer well.
Wine. He's a good wine drinker.
Yeah, but wine's different than beer.
Okay, well, you can drink wine.
And plus, I feel like if I'm talking to Jesus while he's drinking a beer, he's going to be telling me all the things I did wrong.
Yeah,
But Steve Irwin's going to be like, "Oh, I saw this manta ray one time. You should have seen the bugger."
Yeah.
And then it's just going to be fantastic and interesting.
Can you do a Steve Irwin impression?
Yeah, 3 steps ahead. This guy, 3.
See, I might give you a nickname. I only give people nicknames I like, and I only fuck with people that I like. I'm starting to like you because we're both debate club fucking nerds. Except you made good grades, apparently. Governor's honors, fucker, fag. Anyway, I'm not sure I can even say fucker. Oh, no, I can't say fag. Yeah, Martin, I know you're wiggling your little finger because it's time to go, Martin. But what if I want to talk to Keith for a little?
We're having a lovely conversation,
Yeah,
Martin.
go fuck yourself, Martin.
God damn it,
Where do you
Martin.
gotta go? Watch
What
a damn
fuck, Martin.
Watch some new avant-garde movie that no one's ever heard of. Martin?
Oh, what movie, Martin?
Yeah. Oh, except for Keith, of course, has heard of it. All right. Well, we got to wrap it up. Beer with Steve Irwin. That's interesting.
Who would you do beer with?
Oh, I don't know. Why does it come back to me? Evil Knievel.
Oh, that's a solid one.
Yeah, I never met him. I have T-shirts of him. I have all kind of toys and shit. Toys up there. It'd be cool. I think he's just a badass, and he was a total dickhead, total asshole. And he drank a lot.
Total douchebag to his kids.
Yeah, total. Oh yeah.
But still, like the symbol of rebellion.
Yeah,
like,
it'd be cool. I mean, there's a ton of them. There's a ton of people that I would like to drink a beer with and hang out. I think Jim Morrison would be cool as shit to maybe do a little shrooms with and hang out, walk down the street.
I think the first hour would be fun. I think after that,
yeah, but it's a beer. It's a beer. We're not talking. You don't have to live with the guy. You know what I mean?
Okay.
It's a beer.
Who would you live with?
Oh, what guy would I live with?
Yeah.
So many.
Yeah,
so many guys I'd love to live with. No, I wouldn't live. I don't want to live with anybody. I want to live in a little trailer down by the river, and a dog and a little house. I tell my daughters that, they get all pissed off because I don't want to be. I'm out. I'm done. I don't want to be. They're like, you got to be a grandfather. I'm like, nah, I was a good dad. I'm not gonna be a good grandfather.
People are just.
I'm out.
I don't like
yeah. We don't like people. We try to be people. We don't like people. All right, Keith. So nice to meet you, man.
You too, man. Thanks for having me.
Appreciate you doing Scale Plus Ted.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, Keith Brooks, everybody. Thank you, brother.
Thanks, man. You too.